Good morning, you beautiful, enchanted people. Hello, good afternoon, good evening. Let me know, reach out to me on Instagram. Let me know where in the world you're listening to this podcast and what time it is for you. I love hearing from you. For me, recording, it is literally 2 hours before I'm to release this episode. I've tried to create some kind of structure around my business with scheduling posts and things like this, and I just cannot. I don't know what to blame that on, but I just work so much better in a free flowing state and just showing up, opening myself up as a portal and just sharing what's on my heart and what I've been reflecting on since we last spoke. I feel like every time I come back to this pod that I'm like, hey guys, it's been a minute. And I'm not even sorry for that, because living intuitively has given me such a zest for life that I just soak up my day. I soak up the moments. I am inward quite a bit and spending time away from my phone. And I've mentioned before, being a content creator, balancing that lifestyle with also producing creation through my screen, it's a balance, and it's an ever-flowing momentum that I've been really enjoying. And I appreciate you guys who just come for the sake of the energy connection and who resonate with what I share and aren't too imperative on my scheduled posts. And when I have every intention to post a podcast weekly, but oh my gosh, already 3 weeks have gone by. I'm just going to let myself live life this way for now, because it's been so refreshing for my soul. I've been needing to live by a time schedule for the majority of my life, and this last year in particular, just having the free flowing momentum of what is and let it be and just be, like, it's addicting. Once you've experienced it, it's so addicting. And I am not about to limit myself by putting time constraints on when I'm supposed to be producing content, because I love the free flowing vibe of my business. I love that I've created it to be this spiritual machine of just influence and portal magic and intuition and just sharing what feels like I should share. And I love that you've come here again. Welcome back to Mama Magic. If you've been following my story from the beginning, you've noticed lots of changes in my branding and my content, and that's just life. Life is free flowing, and I love that I can celebrate my authenticity and my creativity and all of the embodiments that I so desire as I go through my spiritual journey that is this life. And I love that you guys are a beautiful reflection of that back to me. This community that I've built means the world to me. You guys have gotten me through some of my darkest moments when I had nobody. I could come here and I could create, and I feel love for you from the bottom of my heart. Let's get into this episode. This episode is powerful. We're talking about today discipline and self-love, and how discipline can be toxic when it doesn't come from the gift of embodied self-love. When you're doing things perhaps just to prove a point or to evoke change in your reality, these are, of course, heroic motivations for doing what you do. But I've learned in my personal practice of self-development that the real change is evoked when the actions come with a love for yourself, when you do things because you love yourself. I've heard a quote about work out not because you hate your body, but because you love your body. Take care of your sanctuary, take care of your temple, and health is wealth and all of these things. And that's kind of been the energy that I've activated in my life just recently. I've really have seamlessly flowed into this state of surrender to loving myself in all the ways that can look. That can look like me taking a nap during the day when I'm tired instead of resisting, or relaxing in a bath, or it can look like me signing up for a runner's club because it challenges me. It can take on so many facets, and the discipline is an energy that we need in life to make things happen. In the spiritual community, I've spoken to a few people who are triggered by manifestation concepts and the ease of just letting things come to you and not taking action. And I understand this, being a very action-oriented person. Working in the masculine and the feminine energy, there's that balance of the give and the take, of the sit and receive, and of the pursuit of happiness. There is a balance, and discipline, I feel like, is that balance, because when you come into a routine in life, when you're working through the catalyst of time and juggling stressors that we have in life and things that may hinder our discipline, that may come in the way of discipline, it is that disciplinary thought that tells you, no, I'm still going to show up. No, I'm still going to do what I intended to do, regardless of it being taken off my schedule, or regardless of it not being convenient. Discipline is what makes the action just part of your everyday life, that it becomes as routine as breathing, as waking up. It becomes a part of your lifestyle. When you come at discipline with self-love as the winning factor in your motivation, discipline is easy. Now, hear me out here. I know that we've attempted many times to accomplish goals, to do things, and it results in failure. This episode is going to give you the formula that is foolproof, failure-proof. It's helped me go from a couch stoner to someone who is very proactive in self-love practices and embodiment of whoever I desire to be. And that formula is that I show up for myself with love. I have taken the initiative of my self-care to the highest extent by exuberating love in every aspect of my life, for myself and to myself. And I encourage you to do the same. I encourage you to focus in on mirror work, which we chatted about in the last episode. The power of mirror work. I encourage you to take the opportunity to look at yourself in the mirror and let those shadows come to light. Stare at yourself until it becomes uncomfortable, and then sit with that uncomfortableness and see what comes up for you. I really encourage you to do this, because unless you have faced your own demons, there is a block to fully loving yourself. This is what's referred to as the shadow work, when you integrate the light and the dark, when you have the balance of both energies, and you have learned that the dark part of you is just as worthy of being embraced as the light. And the dark part of you is the deepest part of where that self-love will stem from, because those dark parts of you, those parts that you have kept in the shadows, were created sometimes in defense to protect yourself, sometimes in retaliation to protect yourself, to show yourself sympathy, perhaps when you didn't receive it from who you're hoping for, or to give yourself the quiet space that you needed when you lived in chaos. Those shadows were created to protect you in a way that is so loving and on such a subconscious level. So the mirror work it's important. It is important to look at those and give them the permission to come to light. And during this cold season, during the fall, when the leaves are falling and the trees are becoming bare, we can look at it and take the significance of that portrayal of nakedness and of things changing and the cycle changing and things falling away. And when we integrate our shadows with this shadow work, and I'll make an episode exactly on shadow work because it goes deep, just touching the surface of it in this episode. When you integrate those shadows when you allow the cycles to flow as they will, you will find that the deeper you go within yourself, the more love you do find for yourself, and the more enticed you get by discipline. I know this sounds crazy, but this is what I've been seeing in my life, that the more I love myself, the more I've learned about myself activates this love for myself, because I'll understand myself deeper, be like, that's why I did that. That's why I did that. Wow. I love how subconsciously I was still looking out for myself. I love that for myself, that even when I thought I was putting myself in danger, I still had actually my best intentions at heart. I love that for my soul. And when you can give yourself the comfort that you need, it activates this portal of a whole new world where all of a sudden discipline becomes comfortable. So I get really excited about content like the winter arc and transitioning into seasons and the intention of each season. And I've toyed with the idea of only posting an episode of my podcast monthly, to activate the energy of each month and each cycle of the month, because each month holds such prominent energy that I get so excited about when I'm able to show up with discipline. Discipline has become easy in my life with loving myself deeply, because now when I put into action this routine that I've created for myself, it feels so natural. It feels so seamless. It feels like an embodiment practice, really. And it's exciting. I love showing up for myself. And the formula for never missing a workout, yes, I'm telling you, never missing a walking session, never missing a meditation session, always showing up for yourself is the self-love. And now I'm not saying that if you miss part of your routine, it means you don't love yourself. It's not that dramatic. I'm saying that when you have this authentic appreciation of yourself, of your body, you see yourself as a temple, as a sanctuary, you are so inclined to take care of it, and discipline excites you. So content like the winter arc really excites me. I love that locked in, laser focus. I thrive off that kind of energy. And I love that my community is the same. When I was digging into content and self-development content online, I've heard the phrase, the 1% of the population, a lot. And it spoke to me because I do resonate with that. I have had lone wolf energy my entire existence up until now, because I am manifesting my soulmate community locally. But I have had lone wolf energy, black sheep energy, that isolation, incubation kind of period of my life intensely for the last 2 years, but I have experienced it my entire life. And when you integrate love behind your action, you're able to kind of resonate with a lot more people, because you look at people as beings who desire love. And when you love yourself deeply, you are capable of loving a lot of different people in such a detached way that their actions really don't affect yours, because you have such a strong base. And when you have that grounding base of self-concept, self-admiration, you're unshakable. Things can come at you, relationships can be complicated, life cycles, they change, but you are unshakable. And I think that's really important to point out, is that doing shadow work, doing these integration exercises, embodiment practices, it's a statement that you're making to yourself, that you choose yourself every day. And when you tell yourself that, when you speak to your subconscious on such an intimate level, that, and when you say, I'm not running away from you, I'm going to look you right in the eye, right in the soul, right in the eye of your soul, and still love you. When you make that statement, when you show up for yourself, even when it's not easy at the beginning, you are making such a powerful statement to the energy around you. And then when you do participate in discipline, and when you do take action with that motive of that self-love proclamation behind what you're doing, just imagine the energy. Like, zinging with all of this power, and every movement you make, every flow in your yoga practice, every time you lift a dumbbell, every time you exert breath as you're running, you are pushing out this power of love from within, so without. It's monumental in the energetic field what you're activating when you pursue acts of discipline with love behind it. Even when I go back to working out because that's where I've been lately in my health journey. When you show up for yourself for the gym, show up for yourself for a walk, whatever, you're showing up for something physical. When you show up without the negativity behind the thought of, oh, of course I need to do this, I'm so out of shape, I look horrible, I better get this workout in. When you show up with that kind of thinking, you're already exhausted. You're already physically and mentally spent. The workout is not enjoyable. When you show up excited and feeling good about being able to get into your movement practice and work with the breath of your body, feel your body, the muscle-mind connection is game-changing. And again, that's a whole other episode. I've been engulfing myself in just mind-body connection on this health journey. Let me know. Reach out to me on Instagram at Emma Magic. Let me know if you want to hear more about my health journey and focusing on things that have been working for me. It's been really exciting and I love it. I have a background in personal training nutrition, and it's been really nice to have that knowledge, but now the spiritual side of things and making it more of a practice and taking care of my sanctuary, which is my body. It's been game changing. It's been so easy, but because I've been showing up with self-love, you have to do that work and everything in your life just becomes simple. When you love yourself, everything becomes simple. Discipline becomes simple. And growing up, homeschool kid, cult kid, discipline, I didn't like the word. I did not like the word. I was raised with discipline. Let me know if you know. I did not like the word. Coming to discipline with this different relationship has been really good for me. And that's what I want to share with you, that you can show up for yourself. You can be disciplinary, but it can be in a loving way. It doesn't have to be stern. It doesn't have to be torturous. It doesn't have to be tough on your mental health. It doesn't have to be exhausting. It can be enjoyable. It gets to be easy. It can be easy. You need to reframe your brain around what discipline means to you. It's about perspective. Where energy goes, energy flows. It's about perspective. So if you can reframe your brain and change what certain things mean to you, like I mentioned earlier in this episode about manifesting, the word being triggering to some, reframe the brain. Just change the perspective. How do you want this to feel for you? You have goals. You've created those steps. The content that I share is not for people to inspire people to become this. I'm speaking to people who are already doing it. I see you. You are that 1% of the population. You're self-driven, self-built, self-made everything. And I love you. I see you. I know who you are. Because when I speak to myself. So I know who you are. You are that 1% of the entire world who knows, you just know that there is so much power for you to unlock. That's why this kind of content inspires you. Maybe it triggers you, but it definitely interests you because you are powerful. You are special. You are lovable. And when you can fully believe those things I just spoke to you, and when you tell yourself those things on a daily basis, your life begins to change. We've always been impressive. We've always been those people that people are low-key in awe of, intimidated by, of course. We've always been those people. But we are taking it to a next level by having that intimidation encoded with love. I don't know if you've ever been self-intimidated. I've had that feeling before, years back, almost lost in myself of what I built for myself, and that constant inner turmoil of self-sabotage. Let me know if you've experienced that. It's intense. But that is what triggered me into this whole self-development, self-evolvement thing, was the and the grotesqueness of my inner voice. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to change the perspective of myself before I could change the perspective of the world around me. I resonate with the concept that what you are on the inside is what your outside appears. And when I was looking at discipline as a very negative component in my life, I realized how much I lacked discipline in my life. Yeah, maybe I worked long hours. Maybe I showed up for my team. Maybe on the outside, I was doing all of the movements, but there is no progression really. Mentally, there definitely wasn't any. But even on the physical, I have progressed so much further now with this relaxed approach to discipline than I ever did when I was really hyper focused on disciplinary action in my life. When I looked at discipline not as a punishment, but as a reward, is when my life changed. I get to do this. I get to show up for myself. I get to take 10,000 steps a day. I am so lucky to have legs to move. Oh, look at the weather. It's beautiful out. My disciplinary action has activated so much gratitude in my life that has brought about so many miraculous moments in my life because I showed up with love. Because I showed up with gratitude. Changing the perspective of even just going at it, like changing the perspective of what you're showing up to is game changing. If you take anything from this podcast episode, take that, change the perspective, change your perspective, change your life. What is going on in your life right now that's icky, that's sticky? What is going on right now that you're not happy with? Can you change the narrative about it a little bit? Sometimes that's all it takes. I've had moments in life that something was not working for me. When I sat back and said, okay, what is the ideal situation here? Embody that feeling of it completely working out. It did. Everything I'm sharing to you has been a monumental truth in my life, and that has changed my life to the highest extent. I'm a single mom who lives super rural. I've been monk mode for years. I've been deep in heavy thought, heavy self-evaluation. And I feel so blessed to have a community where I can share those things with, or else I'd probably go really crazy. I appreciate you so much. I'm just sending you so much love. Discipline is an act of love. If you were raised with strict parents, I'm sure you've heard that phrase, I'm doing this because I love you. And that's a whole other conversation. But they weren't wrong. Discipline is an act of love when you can show up with love. And showing up with love has caused me to never miss showing up for myself. Every day, rain or shine, no matter how I'm feeling, I have my routine. Let me know. Let me know if you want a glimpse into this routine. It's magic. It's pure magic. I thrive off of my morning and evening routine. I have one for the weekends. I have one for all seasons. I have one for lazy girl days. I thrive off of routine because once I've created a safe bubble of love for my being, I get excited about these kind of things. And I want to create a group of other individuals who are excited for self-development and who want to dive into this winter arc vibe and just lock in on self-love. Everything else is going to fall into place. Make the decision that you're going to love yourself shamelessly, passionately, purposefully, and just watch your life change. Sit back and watch it change. It's so exciting. So let me know if you're interested in the link to join that group. It's going to be so exciting. I know that last winter, my mental health was devastating. I needed support so much. And coming into this winter, I refuse to let it take a toll on my mental health. And rather, I'm coming into this winter with the intention of peace, with the intention of creation, with the intention of loving myself on the most astronomical scale. And I value your connection so much. And I am excited to connect with you in this group space that I've created, Winter arc, let's go. And the whole point of this is to get so into this beautiful space of embodying the version of you that is dedicated, that is passionate about loving yourself, to embody the space during this time of the colder, darker months, when it may be the most difficult to show up for yourself. When you're able to do that in the dark, cold space, it becomes so easy when life is easy. So it's important to do these embodiment practices, get this grounding, so that life remains really stable for you. This is something I've learned. I've had the most on surface stressful life situations come at me on repeat for the longest time. And what has caused me to remain balanced and stress-free, and dare I say, even enjoying the moments, is what I've shared with you, is loving myself so freely and just being gracious of myself and understanding of myself, and just knowing that maybe I didn't show up perfectly today, but I still showed up. Maybe I didn't complete everything on my to-do list, but I still made a list. It's just being grateful for yourself, for just being. And that's what I've been learning the last little while, is my essence and just who I am when everything's stripped away and I am just a soul bared. To love that part of me. And mirror work is how you get there. Let me know how your mirror work practice has been going. Talk to me. I love hearing from you. I love feedback from my community, because you guys are my heart. You guys are my heart, and I appreciate your love towards me as I've been navigating my life and navigating stepping into wealth energy and what true wealth really means, and losing close people in your life as you're evolving and changing timelines. And so life's been lifing. Let me know if you're interested in more lifestyle vlogs and showcasing how I parent with a spiritual twist and my witchy lifestyle. I love to share it all. I love that I can share my life and share things and create friendships with the similar timelines. I just get so excited by it. And I appreciate you guys for showing up, and I appreciate myself for showing up. Check out my Goddess Within ebook on my Stan store. This ebook is the exact manuscript for how I activated goddess energy in my life, which has caused me to live a life that I've dreamt about. I see things in my physical reality that I am it's surreal, because I have manifested that last week, or I dreamt about that a couple weeks back, or I spoke that out an hour ago. And that ebook that I created is the step-by-step guide that got me to living my most magical essence. And I know it's going to be the catapult to avalanche you into your most divine being. I'm so excited. Let me know if you check that out and your thoughts. I just love hearing from you, and I'm manifesting a big sense of community in my life, and that begins with this community right here. I appreciate you showing up to my pod. This is my baby. These are my sweet little voice notes to my community, and an intimate expression of what I've been learning and how I've been reflecting myself back out into a world after recovering from abuse and trauma. And it's been beautiful. It's been so beautiful. And I'm sending you so much appreciation for joining me in on that. And I hope you're enjoying the energy of the last full moon as much as I am. And until next time, my beautiful, enchanted people, sending you so much love. Universal love.